Hello and welcome to our channel. Please like and subscribe to help us reach 1,000 subs. Thanks. Am I the idiot for shutting down future game nights with my BF and his friends because they expected us to just sit around watching them play video games? Update included. My boyfriend and his friends like to play video games together. I have little to no interest in video games. The issue is that for some reason he and his friends think that them playing video games is the most interesting thing in the world. You know how guys who are into sports will have their girlfriends come to watch their games? He and his friends kind of expect us, the women, to do the same. I'll admit that we tried it once. It was boring and a huge waste of time. None of us had any interest in just sitting there watching them play games. But for some reason the guys expected that somehow this counted as a group hangout, and thought it was a great time. They started to make plans to do it again, and I stepped in and said, "Hey, you guys can play, but we aren't going to just sit around watching you play video games." They didn't get why we didn't like it, because they like sitting around watching people play games and are always watching streamers play. I said if we're going to hang out as a group, we all need to be doing stuff together, interacting. They argued back that we could always join them in playing the games, and I just said that I know I have no interest in that, and a few of the other women chimed in to say so. Well, the guys are pissed at me now because to them, I ruined game night, which to them was something that everyone could enjoy. I don't get why they can't just play games together without dragging bored girlfriends along for the ride. My instinct is that some of them were using it as a way to pretend they were spending time with their girlfriends so they don't get pegged as being shitty boyfriends. The replies. Not the idiot. That sounds boring. Is there another room in the house or one of the other ladies' house where you can hang out and do whatever you want to do? Pamper evening, board games, etc. Second reply. Or just have girls' night out while they do their game nights in. Yeah, how was this not the obvious solution? My group has been doing that since our wives were our girlfriends. If the girls don't want to play games, and the boys are boring, the girls should make their own plans, unless maybe the girls don't know or like each other. Op replies. No, we don't know each other. The only thing we have in common is that our BFS are friends. I'm pretty sure the boyfriends all have this weird idea that things like Friends and How I Met Your Mother are like real life and that everyone just wants to hang out in groups just because you're dating one of the guys or something. Third reply. This is all really bizarre and I'm more amazed you guys didn't just nope right out of there. Being forced to watch someone else game and not interact in any other way is already bad enough. But you're not friends with any of the other girlfriends either? 'Cause you know, that sounds like a really swell time, having a bunch of effing strangers in your home and not being able to do much with them even if you manage to connect and get along. Particularly as a gamer myself. I think you nailed it with the sports game angle. Those are different breeds of people. If I'm gonna have people over for the fighting game night or even something more engaging like shooters, I'm not about to have someone just sit there and watch, cause that's effing boring after about 3 minutes. I kind of suspect your significant other has some real issues with you having your own life and personal freedom, but that's aside the point. Massive not the idiot and hope you stand up for yourselves. Your boyfriend's reaction should be pretty revealing. Not the idiot. I am 40 and I still enjoy playing video games. It is my biggest hobby. I did get myself in trouble early on in my relationship. I've been married for over 10 years now, when I once elected to spend all day playing games with a friend I just moved in with. We navigated that and I agreed I would make sure I never chose games over time with her. I have long made it a point. I work, clean, cook, take care of my kids, as does she, and at the end of the day, for a couple of hours after all that, I make time for us. This can be chatting, watching something together, doing an activity together. Any or all of the above. After that, if I have energy left, I'll get online and play games with my mates for an hour or two. There are times I don't get on. There are some rare times I get on earlier. I always tell me, wife, that if she feels like I'm gaming too much to please let me know. She is the most important everything in my life and I never want her to feel she is an obligation. This works for me. It might not for everyone, and might seem silly to some. But everyone has their thing. Bottom line, I never make my wife watch me play games, or pretend she would enjoy it. She knows it is something I enjoy and has no issues with me doing so as long as it is not at the cost of our time together. Your BF needs to figure this out, else it will always cause strife. Fifth reply. My instinct is that some of them were using it as a way to pretend they were spending time with their girlfriends so they don't get pegged as being shitty boyfriends. You hit the nail on the head there. Not the idiot. Sixth reply. And suggesting that you and the other girlfriends just join in is disingenuous, too. If you haven't played these games before, you're a brand new beginner trying to keep up with veteran players. They won't make it fun for you, they'll get annoyed when you don't know how to do something, or if you have to ask what controller buttons do what. Trust me, as a self-described video game illiterate, I cannot play most games with anyone more experienced than me, because this exact scenario happens. They know you can't play with them, and they don't really care. Use their game nights to have a girls' movie night or go out or whatever you all would enjoy doing. They don't need you as a captive audience, and that doesn't count as a group game night for couples. Seventh reply. This is spot on. My ex was a gamer, and I wasn't. And when I say I wasn't, I mean, there wasn't a gaming console in our house until I was 17 and it was my brother's. When my ex wanted to play games with me, it just annoyed him to no end because I didn't know how to do anything. I'd never even touched an Xbox controller until we started dating, so I didn't know how to use the controls and certain things just weren't intuitive to me because I'd never done them. He'd be yelling at me to jump, and I'd have no idea how. If they did join in, it would completely change the dynamic, unless all of the girlfriends are already veteran gamers, which presumably they aren't, as they don't join in already. It might be a better bonding experience, but the guys wouldn't get to play in the way they wanted to play. Update. Sorry, you all. I'm about to log off and go to happy hour with my friends, plus the comments are getting repetitive, so I figured I'd answer some cues before I go. 1. He plays with these friends multiple times a week already, it's not about not wanting him to game. His hobbies are his hobbies, and he's not some loser with an unwashed ass. Like, I have no issue with him playing. They're also not his only friends. 2. No, the women don't know each other outside of this. These are not friends in the making, this isn't some cutesy little sitcom, we're not trying to make a friend group out of this. 3. I don't like playing board games, and something like D&D is of no interest to me. This applied to most of the other women as well. So please stop with the recommendations, lol. Also, what is everyone's obsession with wine? Like every other comment keeps saying that we should get wine. Why LMAO, stop.